You may not believe it, but there are things you can consume at night that do more than just nourish your eyes. They actually help to mend them while you sleep. Yes, even beyond 60. Hello, my name is Dr. Jason Hale, and today we're going to speak about 4 easy night foods that can help maintain your vision as you get older. And they just require ingredients you already have in your kitchen. And if this is your first visit, consider subscribing, since every week I publish real-world tips to help you stay stronger, sharper, and more independent in your golden years. Now, let's be honest about something no one wants to talk about. It usually begins tiny. When you wake up at night to use the restroom, the corridor suddenly feels darker than it did before. You misjudge the step and hit your toe against the bed's corner. You begin avoiding night driving, not because of traffic, but because the headlights of other vehicles feel like flash explosions. The road signs blur, depth perception declines. Everything appears blurry. When you go in for an eye test, the doctor tells you that it's just a part of getting older, which is the most painful aspect. Because it is not only your sight, it represents your independence. If you lose your vision at night, you can no longer attend evening dinners. You quit reading the newspaper before bedtime. You're hesitant to take up your grandchild when the room is dim. Worse, it increases your chance of falls, fractures, and possibly hospitalization. That is the real expense. It is not foggy vision. It's a creeping erosion of independence. What if I told you that your body can already heal your vision while you sleep? All it needs is the proper support. Because deep sleep causes your eyes to enter recuperation mode. They remove toxins, repair damaged retinal cells, and replenish moisture and nutrients in the lens and macula. But here's the key. This mending occurs only if your body has the necessary building blocks available before bedtime. For the majority of elderly folks, that is the missing element. Today, I'll show you 4 foods that help feed your eyes as you sleep, promoting clearer night vision, lowering inflammation, and even helping you wake up with less eye dryness or irritation. These are not pills. They are not some miraculous supplements. They are everyday foods that provide amazing evening benefits. And we'll start with a meal you undoubtedly already have in your refrigerator, but may not have considered as an eye healer. Let we begin. If there's one thing that's been sitting quietly in your fridge, utterly overlooked in your sight, it's the simple boiled egg. Not scrambled, not fried, boiled. Because when it comes to nighttime eye restoration, boiled eggs are one of the cleanest, most efficient sources of nutrients that your eyes consume while sleeping. Allow me to explain why. As we age, one of the most serious dangers to our eyesight, particularly central vision, is macular degeneration. It affects roughly 11 million Americans, with the number increasing considerably after age 60. And now, for the truly frightening part. It often begins quietly, with no discomfort or dramatic symptoms, until you realize you can't read fine type, can't identify faces, or require a magnifying glass to view your own drug label. The macula, the area of the eye responsible for fine, detailed vision, is key to this, and the macula relies on 2 very specific nutrients to defend itself: lutein and zeaxanthin. What about boiled eggs? They're packed with both. You might be wondering, wait, I thought leafy vegetables contained lutein. You're totally correct. But here's something most folks don't know. While spinach and kale contain more lutein on paper, the lutein in egg yolks is much more bioavailable, which means your body absorbs it more effectively. In example, one study published in the Journal of Nutrition discovered that consuming just 1 egg yolk per day for 5 weeks dramatically improved both lutein and zeaxanthin levels in the blood, while not boosting cholesterol in healthy people. And this is why it matters at night. During the day, your eyes experience oxidative stress, particularly from screens, sunlight, and dry indoor air. They strive to detox and heal while you sleep. However, if you are deficient in important antioxidants, such as lutein, the harm persists. Boiled eggs provide antioxidants in a form that your body can use overnight. But that is not all. Eggs also include high-quality protein, such as cysteine, which aids in the production of glutathione, your body's primary antioxidant. This protects not just your eyes, but also your liver and brain as you sleep. Let's not forget vitamin A. This is critical for low-light vision and moisture equilibrium in the eyes. Have you ever woken up with dry, gritty eyes? That could mean you're not getting enough. Boiled eggs are perfect before bed since they are easy to digest, do not raise your blood sugar, and provide gentle, consistent support throughout the night. I'll never forget Dorothy, a 7- and 2-year-old retired teacher who came to me every morning with burning, itchy eyes. We did not adjust her medicine. All we did was incorporate one boiled egg into her evening routine. A few weeks later, she stated, "I can finally read before bed without my eyes screaming at me." Sometimes it's that simple. So, if you haven't had a boiled egg in a while, don't wait until morning. Your eyes need it tonight. And in a moment, I'll show you how to combine it with one of the world's healthiest fats, which also boosts lutein's effectiveness. Now, let's discuss something creamy, green, and frequently misinterpreted. Avocado. Some individuals still avoid it because they believe it is too greasy. But here is the truth. Avocado is one of the healthiest fats you can consume, particularly if you are over 60 and concerned about your vision. And believe it or not, the proper lipids are required for good night vision. Let me clarify. Earlier, we discussed lutein, an antioxidant that protects the macula, the core section of your retina. Lutein is fat-soluble, which implies that it cannot be fully absorbed without good fat. And this is where avocados shine. Avocados are high in monounsaturated fats, the same type found in olive oil. These lipids aid in the transport of antioxidants such as lutein and zeaxanthin directly into the retinal tissue, where they are most needed. In fact, one study published in the Journal of Nutrition discovered that eating one avocado every day for 6 months enhanced macular pigment density, a critical indicator of improved eye health and protection against degeneration. But there is more. Avocados are also high in vitamin E, an antioxidant that helps neutralize free radicals in your eyes caused by UV light and blue screens. They also include a little quantity of vitamin C, which promotes the health of the tiny blood vessels around your retina. Better circulation means more nutrients and oxygen to your eyes, particularly at night when your body is in deep repair mode. Avocado also contains glutathione, a strong molecule that works with your liver to detoxify your entire system, including your ocular tissues, as you sleep. So, a simple slice of avocado in the evening can do much more than just fulfill your hunger. It actively prepares your eyes to repair and defend themselves overnight. Now I understand what you're wondering. How much avocado is considered too much? Most people find that eating 1/3 to half an avocado in the evening is sufficient. You may eat it with dinner on whole grain toast, with a salad, or mashed up with a cooked egg for a tasty, eye-healthy combination. And no, it will not cause you to gain weight. In fact, avocado's healthful fats can help balance your blood sugar, reducing the likelihood of waking up hungry or restless in the middle of the night. I previously worked with a man named Richard, who was 68 years old. He was having difficulty reading at night, even with his glasses on. We did not start with eye drops or fresh prescriptions. We just added half an avocado to his meal 3 times a week. After only a month, he told me, I no longer squint when I read my Bible before bed, and my eyes are much less weary. That's how much of a difference fat can make when used correctly. And in a moment, we'll look at an unexpected fruit that provides further nighttime protection for your eyes, particularly against inflammation and oxidative stress. Stay with me. Let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you ate kiwi? Because if you're over 60 and wake up with sleepy, itchy, or blurry eyes, your body is likely deficient in vitamin C just when it needs it the most. Kiwi may not appear particularly appealing at night. It's little, fluffy, and frequently overlooked in the fruit aisle. But inside, it contains one of the most potent tools your eyes can use to combat damage and aging. See? Your eyes are constantly attacked. Daylight, blue screens, ultraviolet radiation, air pollution, and even dry interior heat. All of this increases oxidative stress in your retina, lens, and cornea. And what happens when your body tries to clear it up? While you are asleep. But here's the catch. That mending process is only effective if your body has adequate antioxidants in the bloodstream. And for that, kiwi is a superstar. It is one of the most abundant natural sources of vitamin C, surpassing even oranges. Vitamin C is useful for more than simply immunity. It's necessary for collagen creation, which helps to preserve the structure of your cornea, the suppleness of your lens, and the health of the tiny capillaries that supply your retina. Without collagen, these delicate tissues begin to degrade. The fluid layer that keeps your eyes moist begins to thin. And the outcome? You awoke with dry, itchy, or even painful eyes. Kiwi helps to prevent this softly and effectively while you sleep. It also contains vitamin E, polyphenols, and carotenoids, which act together to neutralize free radicals that assault your eye tissues overnight. This implies less inflammation, less haze, and less morning fog. There's another goodie. Kiwi naturally promotes melatonin production, a hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. So it not only protects your eyes while you sleep, but it may also help you fall asleep faster and stay in deep sleep for longer, allowing your body even more time to recover. I worked with a woman named Joanne. She was 70 years old, still driving and independent. But every morning, she would say the same thing. My eyes feel as if they had not rested at all. She tried artificial tears, cold compresses, and even changed bedding. Nothing worked. So I requested her to make only one little change. Add 1 kiwi to her nighttime routine shortly after supper, or approximately an hour before bedtime. Within 10 days, she told me, it was the first time in months that I woke up with my eyes not burning. And after 3 weeks, she stated she could read the paper in the morning without having to blink to focus. That is the magic of nutritional timing. Not a supplement. Not drops. Simply a slice of fruit at the correct moment. If you haven't already given kiwi a second look, now is the moment. And in the following section, we'll look at a rich, crunchy source of omega-3 that works in tandem with these antioxidants to reduce inflammation and restore blood flow while you sleep. If there is one word that I want more people would identify with vision loss, it is this: inflammation. In most cases, we associate inflammation with our joints or intestines. However, chronic, low-grade inflammation in the eyes, particularly in the retina and optic nerve, is one of the silent causes of night vision disorders. Dry eyes and even progressive diseases such as macular degeneration and glaucoma. Worse, this irritation is not limited to the daytime. It persists at night, when your eyes should be resting and recovering. That is where walnuts come in. Walnuts are one of the richest plant sources of omega-3 fatty acids, particularly alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. The body converts ALA slowly but effectively into EPA and DHA, 2 omega-3 fatty acids that are highly active in the retina and brain. You may have heard about DHA before. It accounts for almost 30% of the structural fat in your retina. Without enough of it, The light-detecting cells in your eye become slow, irritated, and vulnerable to harm. Now here's the key. Most people believe you must eat fish to reap these benefits. And, absolutely, fatty fish like salmon are great. But if you're vegan, allergic, or simply don't like fish, walnuts are the best nocturnal option. According to a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, persons who ate walnuts on a regular basis had significantly lower levels of C-reactive protein, or CRP, a prominent marker of systemic inflammation. Lower CRP doesn't just benefit your heart. It can directly assist your eyes by increasing blood flow through the small capillaries that supply the retina and optic nerve. Because, here's the deal, your eyes are extremely vascular. They rely on oxygen-rich blood to transport nutrients, eliminate waste, and maintain tissue health. Any interruption, whether due to inflammation, high blood pressure, or poor circulation, might gradually deplete your eyesight over time. Walnuts also contain melatonin, a sleep hormone. This implies they do more than just protect your eyes while you sleep. They may help you fall asleep faster, giving your eyes more undisturbed time to heal. Let's not forget the vitamin E, zinc, and polyphenols contained in walnuts, all of which help with antioxidant protection inside the eye. All of that is crammed into a small, crispy handful. What is the best part? You don't need much. Before bed, consume around 7 whole walnut halves, or about 1 small handful, to get a good dosage of plant-based omega-3s. Carl, a 75-year-old patient, didn't want to take another medicine, but realized his eyes were becoming more itchy every morning. We included walnuts in his evening snack. 2 weeks later, he simply stated, "I am waking up with eyes that don't feel like sandpaper anymore." Sometimes that's all it takes. Less irritation, improved circulation, and a more pleasant morning. So, if you're seeking for a simple, healthy strategy to safeguard your vision, don't neglect this potent little nut. Knowing what to consume is vital, but knowing how to apply it is what drives results. So, let's discuss how to incorporate these 4 foods into a simple, efficient nighttime routine. First, timing is important. During the first several hours of sleep, your eyes undergo the most extensive restoration. When blood flow rises, inflammation is reduced, and retinal cells begin to recover. To help with this process, you should have these nutrients in your bloodstream before you go to bed. The optimal period is roughly 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. This provides your body ample time to digest, absorb, and distribute the antioxidants, healthy fats, and proteins to your eyes. You do not need to eat all 4 foods every night. In fact, starting with just 2 or 3 is a smart, long-term strategy for developing a habit. For example, on Monday night, you might eat 1 boiled egg and half an avocado. On Tuesday, you may try a kiwi and a tiny handful of walnuts. If you're feeling hungry by midweek, mix all 4 ingredients to make a light yet highly filling plate. What matters most is consistency, not intensity. Consider this a weekly pattern, not a hard formula. Preparing these dishes does not have to be complicated. You can slice a boiled egg and spread it over mashed avocado with a sprinkling of sea salt, or eat a cold kiwi with a tablespoon of plain yogurt and chopped walnuts on top. The combinations are limitless, but the idea remains the same. Gentle, nutrient-dense food for your eyes before bedtime. Now, here are a few key practices that improve how effectively these nutrients operate. First, have a glass of water with your evening snack. Hydration allows your bloodstream to transport nutrients where they are required, including the tiny blood veins behind your eyes. Second, avoid heavy sweets, booze, and late-night salty nibbles. These raise your blood sugar, dry your tissues, and cause internal stress, which interferes with eye recuperation. Third, protect your sleep quality. Aim for a consistent bedtime, a dark room, and limited screen usage in the last hour before bed. Remember that your eyes are more than just passive. They are part of your circadian cycle. The darker and calmer your sleeping environment, the more effective their repair cycle is. This does not necessitate a new drug. It doesn't mean spending hundreds of dollars on supplements. It's about giving your body what it already knows: real food, proper timing, and adequate rest. You may start tonight. 1 kiwi, 1 egg, and 1 good choice. That is all it takes to get started. And in a moment, I'll explain why this simple habit can lead to far larger improvements in your life. One night at a time. If there is one thing I've learned from 30 years of care for aging eyes, it's this. Most people do not lose their sight all at once. They lose it gradually, night after night, without even knowing. A little more blur, glare, and hesitation to drive after dusk. And over time, those minor changes wear away at the things you cherish the most. Reading your favorite novel before bed, seeing your grandchild grin plainly, or simply feeling confident walking into a dark hallway at night. But here's some good news. You are not powerless in this situation. Because, just as vision fades with each passing night, it may also be rebuilt. Your body is built to heal. Your eyes are designed to recuperate. And all it takes is a little help at the appropriate moment with the correct meal. Boiled eggs, avocados, kiwis, and walnuts. These are not fancy. They're not difficult to find. However, when you give them to your body with intention before sleeping, they become repair tools rather than calories. And if you incorporate this into your routine, even a few times a week, I believe you will see a difference. Perhaps it begins with less dryness in the morning, or crisper contrast when you first open your eyes. Perhaps it's simply the confidence that comes from knowing you're finally doing something worthwhile for your eyes. Because at this point in life, clarity is more than simply what you can see. It's about how you feel in your own body. Independent, capable, and in control. So, if you've made it this far, I'd like to say thanks. Truly. It indicates that you are concerned about your health, which puts you ahead of the majority of people. If you found this video useful, please like it. Please share this with anyone over the age of 60 who is experiencing eyesight problems. I also read every comment, so write one below and tell me which of these 4 dishes you plan to eat first. And, if you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe. Because every week I share easy, science-backed tools to help you protect your health, one behavior at a time. Until next time. This is Dr. Jason Hale telling you that your body is constantly working to heal you. You just need to give it a chance. Sleep soundly tonight, and you'll see the world a little clearer tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.